1992 was an outstanding year for grunge and music as a whole. Nirvana's Nevermind hit number 1 on the US Billboard chart, making 1992 the year grunge became more than just a niche genre from a vibrant Seattle music scene. We saw the release of Pearl Jam's 10, Alice in Chains released Dirt, and we even saw guitar legend Eric Clapton release the incredible live album Unplugged. But along with the end of the Cold War and the beginning of the 1992 Olympics, another cultural zeitgeist was brewing at the local arcade. A phenomenon that would transform how we approach age ratings and question our desensitization to violence. It was a game of combat. My name is Fez, and this is how Mortal Kombat made me a better guitar teacher. Okay. So I've actually been playing guitar and music for a majority of my life, and I've actually been lucky enough to play in bands and write music and make some money from the instrument as well. One of these avenues was teaching. And I started teaching again in about 2023, late 2023 I want to say. And I taught before, but I was definitely like out of practice. So I was going into it kind of expecting a certain kind of result, I guess, when I was teaching. But one of the main things I discovered was the fact that whenever I was teaching, there was a couple of aspects to do with the guitar that they weren't natural to students immediately off, especially beginners. And some of these things were like how to hold a guitar pick, how to actually tune your guitar, and what these do. So in there begged the question, how do I, as someone who's been playing this instrument for almost 20 years, teach something that's second nature, other than just telling someone to practice over and over and over? So I'm a massive fan of games, and I've probably a longer history of enjoying them than music. So I was at home after teaching, scrolling through games to play, and landed on the new Mortal Kombat game at the time, Mortal Kombat 1. Now, I'm not great at fighting games at all, but I had a basic understanding of what to do. So I was playing for a while that night, and eventually found myself practicing combos when I made a connection. This was my opportunity to become new at something again, to become a student again. So I took it upon myself to learn Mortal Kombat, loosely at least. I don't really have any desire to go pro or get really good at the game, but I did want to understand my own shortcomings and use my knowledge from practicing my own instrument to improve. So it meant that if I improved, so will my students. The primary connection I found between both game and guitar were the use of patterns. An example is chords. On guitar you can use chords in different places to play different notes, but first you need to know what the right combination of notes are and where to put them on the fretboard to create the chord. These chords are shapes you need to memorize, and the majority of early learning of guitar is these shapes to play along with almost any song. And once you get more familiar with each chord, you'll get faster at changing them. In a game like Mortal Kombat, you have to use strings to get combos out. Not to get confused with strings on a guitar, strings in Mortal Kombat execute a 3 to 4 hit combo, and they're one of the cores to becoming good at the game. Both guitar and Mortal Kombat require pattern recognition and muscle memorization, and the most effective method of improvement at this stage is repetition. For guitar, this could be the previously mentioned chords for general familiarization and finger dexterity, and for Mortal Kombat, learning strings gets you more used to playing the game, and these strings in the game allow you to do your particular actions. However, if you perform the input too slowly or press the wrong button, be it a special or a string, the action will not happen. So when showing chords, I've tried to make sure that once a student has learned the chord, they can hear every note comfortably. It kind of punishes bad finger placement, but they'll know where the error is and be able to fix it immediately. Thus, gaining a good habit in order to improve your playing. It came from the mentality of when performing a special move, you needed to do the input really accurately, or it just wouldn't come out. This can also apply to single note riffs. It's almost more apparent here, where each note needs to be properly fretted in order to sound correct. And repeating these riffs can help you get technically faster with proper technique, in the same way that in Mortal Kombat, doing specials repeatedly gets that hand motion into your muscle memory, so that the next time you want to use it, you don't even have to think about it. This also enables you to potentially use multiple moves together and extend the combos you're already familiar with, almost making combos within combos and getting creative and extending your own combos. And with guitar, this was a way of self-adjusting chords in order to make sure you're playing each string correctly. So as much as it's a case of repetition, it's also repeating it correctly and adjusting rather than getting quick with bad habits. So precise repetition was the key here. And it was working. My students were getting technically better. But there were still definitely a few things I could iron out, and one of them was something I didn't really expect. So when I was starting Mortal Kombat, I used a standard Xbox controller because it was what I had just when I started. But over time I found that my right wrist started to get a little bit sore after playing, so I found this controller instead. To my knowledge, it's called the Hori Fighting Commander. So the button layout is a little bit different, but once I got kind of used to it and laid out my hand differently, my wrist just got better. It didn't hurt as much. And this got me thinking about actually holding the guitar itself. I noticed a lot of beginner students held chords with their thumb here or here to add pressure onto chords. And this wasn't something I thought about correcting until I thought about my controller issue. And similarly to it, all we needed to do was instill a couple of minor adjustments in order to create a good habit. So I started to show students two things. The first was for more normal playing, where I was trying to get the thumb to hang over the top of the guitar. This helps mainly with chords and some riffs. It's generally the best and most common way to hold the guitar, it's a good habit. But for some other songs, when that doesn't cut it, I have what I call the Salt Bae method. This is basically where you have your thumb in the back of the neck, along with using your finger for every fret, creating a natural pinch on the guitar that kind of looks like the thing Salt Bae did. This allows you to have more reach across the neck generally and do bigger chords that have more stretch. Now there are many other similarities I found between Mortal Kombat and guitar, but the core thing I found of my improvement was effective repetition. I knew what I was practicing with my character and with proper technique. Having the combo in front of me as well as being able to quickly reset was a great way to instill good habits and muscle memory, just getting used to those motions of playing the game. And with guitar, having small exercises that hones in particular skills really helps some students learn more songs on their own. That, and with the ability of self-correction, I feel like I saw a more structured and effective way of teaching students fundamentals as well. So clearly it was paying off. For a while. So I practiced the combos loads and eventually tried them in actual games. I was expecting to win just since I could do all these flashy moves, but a lot of the time getting the combo to connect was actually harder than the combo itself. That's when it hit me that this massive combo was only useful sometimes. It reminded me of when I got into more advanced soloing on guitar. I'm sure there are many intermediate players that are familiar with the good old pentatonic scale and learning a few licks. But in order to use the scale and licks in songs, you need to understand what keys they work in. This was less a technical law, but more a theoretical and practical one. So similar to how every combo won't work in Mortal Kombat, I just can't use the same licks in every single song and every single key. It just won't work. With Mortal Kombat, what I was missing was where I was hitting. Most fighting games have combos that start from high, mid, or low. The combo I was doing started with a mid. So after doing it a few times, my opponent was easily able to predict this and work around it to defeat me. But music, the pentatonic scale can't be used in every key. The pentatonic scale is mainly used in minor keys and it excels there, but I can move the scale around to fit into major pentatonic or even some modes to adapt to different key changes or chords. And doing this can open the door to creating different melodic lines or licks depending on the musical restrictions. And this links back to Mortal Kombat because you need to have multiple combos that start in different places in order to make you the most effective opponent possible and make you really unpredictable. This forces you to create your own combos at times to suit your playstyle so you can adapt and play the game how you want. You can even do a combo a few times to make your opponent think you're going for one thing, then throw in a different combo to upset their prediction. I think this is called condition, but you can let me know in the comments if that's correct, I'm not sure. But I applied this to my more advanced students. I taught a lick, and then I got them to play in different places with different genres. What I noticed was they developed a familiarity with the notes playing them in different keys. But with different positions, keys, genres, it made students explore the phrase, lick, melody a little bit differently each time. So they phrased it differently and they explored different ideas within that same lick, which again built familiarity through experiencing different situations to use that lick in. And with that, I was able to become a student again. I took lots of notes to try with different students and I definitely saw an improvement with my students' goals. Truthfully, I really like Mortal Kombat, but I'm not that good at the game and I don't really plan to be that good, because what I wanted from the game was to understand how to get good at something from the ground up, and to be able to recognize when to discipline myself to get better. But the primary takeaways of everything was getting used to your fundamentals, getting down basic movement, getting familiar with the tools of choice, and knowing when to self-correct. The next one was application. How can you apply this in day-to-day usage? And then building slowly on everything you've just done with practice, practice, practice. But it's also important to say that none of this is a race. It's up to you yourself to mostly have fun with everything that you're doing, whether that's getting really, really good at it, having a strict regime, or just casually playing games, playing guitar. Whatever your goal is, you will succeed at it if you have the right mentality for it. But I was thinking about this and thinking that all of this could be viewed as the art of getting good at something. You could apply this to a lot of different things. But I'd be curious to hear what you guys think in the comments. This is actually my first YouTube video, and I'd be really, really excited to hear your feedback and everything, whether you'd want to hear more about this music kind of stuff, more general music stuff, or maybe a little bit of a mixture of games and music altogether. But yeah, if you like what you're seeing, make sure to subscribe, and thank you for watching the video.